A very warm welcome back to TED Talks and Bowen's Garage. I hope you're all doing very well indeed. This morning we have another review video for you. The weather's lovely and I thought it was only right we get the roof down and we go for a little spin in this wonderful little Mazda MX-5 that we've just taken into stock. Haven't done a review on an MX-5 before. There are lots out there and I wanted to drive this one. I think it looks the kit, so we'll have a look. We'll do our usual walk around. I'll show you the specification, and then all importantly we'll get it out on the road and see what's what. As always, thank you for joining me. If you're new here, you are very welcome, and do give us a thumbs up, subscribe to the channel if you haven't already, share it with all your mates, and if you come here all the time and you're used to these videos, welcome back. Hope you're all doing very well. So let's have a look at this 2018 Mazda MX-5. So here it is, 2018 on a 68 plate, Mazda MX-5 Sport Navigation Plus. This is the 1.5 petrol, 130 brake horsepower, naturally aspirated, finished in this magnificent soul red, which I personally think is the only colour to have in the Mazda range. It's a fantastic colour. It glistens, it changes colour depending on the light. It's just a wonderful looking colour, and combined with these really good looking 16-inch aluminium grey alloy wheels, I just think it looks a lovely thing. This is the 4th generation of MX-5, or Miata as they call it abroad, and a manual soft top version. Specification wise on the Sport Navigation Plus, actually really impressive for a car of this nature. So you get keyless entry. As we go inside, you've got a full leather interior, heated seats, which is obviously good for this time of year, manual handbrake. You've got the nice red stitching which complements the body colour as well, 6-speed manual gearbox, all really straightforward layout. So you've got air conditioning or climatic air conditioning, you've got USBs, auxiliaries, a push button to start, nice screen which I'll show you with the satellite navigation, really thin steering wheel which I actually think is great for driving, cruise control, you've got your Bluetooth, you've got your lane assist, electric windows, electric mirrors, you've got your carpet mats, and then a really thin footwell. We haven't valeted the car yet, it's just as it's sort of arrived with us. A couple of cup holders behind, bit of storage, little windbreaker there, and also you get some Bose speakers which come out through here, which is a really nice touch. One thing I do also like on these MX-5s, which it might not do now because I've just moved it, but we will see, is it's got an awesome little cold start rasp. So we'll see if it does it. Yes. Not quite so much as it did earlier, but you get a lovely little rasp to it. Timing chain engine. I think they sound great. They sound like enthusiastic. They want to take you for a good run. Gearbox is brilliant, I'll come on to that. And then you've got this iDrive system which runs off the stalks here, so you've got satellite navigation, we've got DAB radio, Bluetooth, all that sort of thing as well. So it's a really nice spec. I think they're extremely good looking sports cars. They're budget friendly, and this is the 1.5 petrol, which was the base level engine, so it's 130 brake horsepower. It doesn't have the limited slip diff as the 2 litres did, so my only concern is that it's just not going to be quite as quick as it needs to be, possibly slightly underpowered, but I haven't driven one of these 1.5 ones, so I'm going to be interested to see what it's like. But a cracking looking car. We've taken in locally. The gentleman bought it from Mazda in Gloucester, I believe. There is one issue that we found, or were aware of when we bought the car. So it's got a full Mazda main dealer service history right the way through its life. but as you can see on the clock, it is showing just 57 miles. So the dash played up at 29,600 odd miles, and it went into Mazda, and they have replaced the clocks. So it's done 57 miles on these new clocks. The guy was waiting as the part was on back order for a little bit. So the mileage is absolutely genuine. It's all documented with Mazda, the mileage that the speedo was changed and the date. So the mileage is totally genuine. It just says it's got 57 miles on the clock when actually it should have just less than 30,000 miles on the clock. But all up together with its service history right the way through its life. We've just replaced all 4 tyres with Yokohamas, which were the tyres that were on the car. So all 4 have just been replaced with brand new Yokos. We've also done the rear brake pads and discs as well. So bar an MOT, it's ready to go. So I think all it remains for us to do is to get it out on the open road and see what it's all about. I'm looking forward to this one. Right, we are off and away in the MX-5. It's a beautiful November day, absolutely lovely, but it does make filming a little bit of a challenge because it's very sunny, very bright. We're trying to do pictures and struggling like mad, but let's give it a whirl. Excuse me if the camera action is a little bit wobbly. I imagine the ride's not going to be lovely, but let's go. So, this car back in 2018 was just over £23,000 as its basic spec. It would have been more than that with the paint because it was an expensive added option, but I think it's the option you've got to have. It's tremendous, the paint. The only thing I would say about this paint, Soul Red, is it's lovely when it's clean, and it's lovely when it's tidy. It's a real pain to paint. Because it's like a 3-stage pearl, so painting it can be quite the challenge. But what a lovely colour combination it is. Clutch feels great. I've driven quite a few MX-5s, I've got to admit. I haven't driven many of these newer ones. I've had one of these newer ones, which was a 2-litre, which was the higher brake horsepower, 180 brake, I think they are. I might be wrong, 170, 180, 170. I mean, it's nice, it's really nice. Everything is so positive. The gear change is tremendous. Boom, boom. Third, boom. Second, boom. Keep the revs up. Obviously rear wheel drive. The 2-litre ones do have a limited slip diff, which is their sort of party piece with the extra power. This is more of a friendly version of the MX-5, one that you're not going to take round a track realistically. The 2-litre is, if you want to go health leather and you want to have a real, more of a track experience, then the 2-litre is definitely the one to go for. You've got that extra bit of poke, you've got the LSD, which will make a difference. This is the car for the summer if you want the more sensible running costs, really. Like I say, just over 23 grand when it was new. They've held their money really well. So this is up at 15,500 with 30,000 miles on it. I think it's worth that. It's lovely condition wise, but everything feels so positive. I think that's probably the right words. Nice little short gear stick, and you can bum 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 bum. Steering feels lovely. It's a nice thin steering wheel, which I like if you're in a sort of, if you're trying to get a bit of a hustle on. But they're really well built, so you know, it's a nice finish in here. It really is. It doesn't feel like you're in like an old Lotus Elise or, you know, an old Peugeot 206 Cabriolet or something where everything's rattling and banging and crashing. It feels really well built, really Japanese. And they always have done the MX-5s. We look after quite a few, and you could still get in one that's one of the original, like a Unos or whatever, that's 1993, 94, 95, and they still feel really well screwed together. So Dual carriageway, let's see. It might make a bit of noise here. One thing you will find is it'll be very easy to light up the rear tyres in this sort of greasy part of the year. You can have some real fun. Skinny-ish tyres. Let's go. 7,000 is the red line. And I just love naturally aspirated cars. That's third, 60 miles an hour. Into fourth, that's 70 miles an hour. I mean, it doesn't hang about. It sounds great, but you will still get a very sensible fuel consumption. If you drive it normally with the 6 speed and you're just cruising about, you're going to get 40s to the gallon quite comfortably, I would think. So it's not bad. I mean, this is a car that you can take out on a Sunday morning and have a really quick rip around with the roof down. Lots of people will look at you even still because they do have a real following these. Or you could use it daily this time of year. It's perfectly comfortable. You've got heated seats, you've got navigation, you've got Bluetooth, you've got cruise control, automatic lights. What more do you need? They're so good. They're so good. I don't think I've ever driven a bad one either. They don't come back under warranty. Obviously the older ones had a bit of a issue with rust and water ingress. All convertibles have problems with water ingress. I just want to drive this. I just want to keep driving this car. The video would be quite boring if you just see me driving around the Forest of Dean for a couple of hours. That's what I want to do now the sun's out. Just want to go and take it around the nice roads of the Forest of Dean and have a good rip. But yeah, it's the sort of car you could use daily. It'd be perfectly reliable, sensible running costs, taxed at 195 quid a year. They're very hard to fault. The people who buy them, and obviously I'm appealing to you guys, if you would like to come and buy it, then do, know what they're talking about, and that's absolutely fine. This is a nice one. Like I say, they did used to suffer with rust a bit, and you had to be very careful of the sills, the arches, water ingress that caused it. It was quite easy to get a bad one back in the day, but they all drove well, that was the thing. I thought this would be underpowered, is the honest truth. 130 brake horsepower. I thought that you'd just be wanting more and more and more. I don't. Yes, on a track it would feel potentially a little bit sluggish. But you'd still have a lot of fun. Let me know what you think. Let me know if you'd like to come and buy it, obviously. Nobody in the pub. Yeah, I just like this. I just like it. We don't get a huge amount of cars in that I just really like, and we get a lot of very good cars in, but not cars that I specifically want to go out and drive. I want to drive this one. I do. It's lovely. I think it's a car that I will certainly try and have in our collection at some point. An MX-5 of some description. Whether it's this age or whether it's one of the more original ones, I'm not sure. I mean, they're all very similar. The newer ones just have more specification about them. Go on, dear. I think I'd probably get... I like this shape. I think this looks really smart. So I'd be inclined, if I was going to get one, to maybe get a 2 litre, if it was one you were going to keep. We've got a Honda S2000, which I will definitely do a review on at some point, that we've sort of, like I say, that we have had for a long time now, 9 years maybe, and it's a nice one. They feel very, very similar. 2 Japanese roadsters, it's no wonder. Obviously the S2000s rev up to A lot more than 7,000 RPM, more like 9,000. But in terms of the gearboxes, the clutches, the steering, it feels very, very similar. And that's no bad thing, because both cars are excellent. So I think that'll do for today. Traffic's bad and I'm running out of things to tell you that I think you might find interesting. But to sum up, a lovely looking car that's sensible value for money, drives really, really nicely, comes very nicely appointed, will be very reliable. It's hard to find fault if you're after a car that not only could you use in the summer and as a spare car and a little Sunday ripper, but also a car that you could use every day. Thank you very much for watching. I hope you've enjoyed this one. Let me know your thoughts on this little Soul Red MX-5, and we will no doubt see you very soon for another exciting review video. Thanks a lot. Take care.